Roast with 19 News coming to you from our digital desk. We're about to take you to Columbus, where they are getting set for a massive winter storm that's going to impact really the entire state, but we're really going to see an impact from Columbus down to Cincinnati like they don't normally see. So let's listen now into the Ohio State Highway Patrol.
So if you are planning, this weekend, if you do have to go out and brave the conditions that we're, expected to see, just remember that things like braking, your speed, all of those things need to be taken into consideration, because once you hit ice, you're going to have much less traction than a wet day or a dry day.
And so in terms of skidding, how do you navigate that so you don't crash? What, you drive into the skid, move your steering wheel away from the skid? Talk about the techniques.
Sure. So if you do go into a skid, obviously, you want to take those inputs and, be steering away from where you're going. You want to try and get your car back to where you want to go. You counter steer. There's a lot of things you can do to try and get back on the road, get back straight and level. But at the end of the day, we're recommending just try not to get into that situation in the first place. Make sure you're traveling at a speed that's appropriate for the roadways. If there's ice, that's going to be very slow. Make sure you're going very slow and just watching your inputs. Make sure you don't have too sharp of inputs, especially when you're braking.
I was going to say, like in braking, the first instinct is someone to slam their brakes on you. What are you telling people to do?
Yeah, so just kind of feathering your brakes a little bit. Come to a slow stop. You don't want to slam on your brakes, because when you do that, your tire is effectively stopping, and then you're just going to continue to slide. Whereas if you have some more rolling resistance on that tire, that's going to actually slow you down better than sliding.
Is speeding the main cause of weather-related crashes? Is it tailgating? What should drivers really be aware of, and what do you guys see when it comes to weather-related crashes?
Sure. So unsafe speed remains one of the most prevalent factors in our weather-related crashes. We know that traveling at a safe speed for the roadway conditions are the best way for a driver to get to their destination. And again, things like ice, heavy snow, that's going to delay you anyways, so make sure you're taking it slow. That way you do get to where you want to go.
The southern part of the state, I guess, is supposed to get the worst of it. What are you doing in terms of OHP, in terms of sending out tickets and warnings for people who may not or may ignore the level 1, 2, 3, 4s?
Right. So as far as snow level warnings, those are dictated by the county sheriff's office. What we're going to do is we're going to be out making sure that, if drivers are traveling, just make sure that they're being safe, make sure they're following the speed limits, doing all the things they need to be doing. If they are involved in a crash, those drivers can expect to receive a citation if we determine through our crash investigation that they weren't using the best driving techniques that they could have.
What if someone is driving and it's a level 3 or 4, they're not supposed to be on the road? What are you going to do?
So if somebody's driving in a level 3 or 4, let me back up. So if someone is driving in a level 3, we're not going to, stop that person for that. Again, that's something that is put out by the sheriff's office, but we will be kind of making sure that people are driving safe. At the end of the day, motorists need to make the best choice for themselves, and pretty much this weekend, that may be staying home.
Does your department staff differently when it comes to these weather events? Are there more hands on deck?
Right. So anytime we have severe weather, let's say, going into the next shift, so you're on night shift and, there's a lot of crashes pending, or we expect to see more weather in the hours leading up to the next shift, we'll have people stay over, we'll have people come out early. There will be overtime for sure, where we're just trying to make sure that we have enough troopers on the roadway. That way everybody's getting where they need to go safe.
Are there an increase of crashes more highway, turnpike, or would it be more common road, like residential streets? What do you guys see there?
So I don't know that I can answer that, there's one area that's particularly bad, but I think each area presents its own challenges. Up on the turnpike, for example, you have long straight stretches, lots of visibility, potentially not though, with blowing and drifting conditions. But people may get a false sense of security that they can travel at a higher speed. Whereas down south, in southeast Ohio, where we have a lot of twisty, windy, hilly roadways, that presents its own issue because of the incline and, just driving safe on those roads.
What are some important things that people should be packing in their car if they do have to travel and they find themselves off the side of the road so they can stay alive during these really cold temperatures?
Sure. So if you do have to go out this weekend, we're recommending make sure you have jumper cables, make sure you have some blankets, an extra change of clothes, maybe a snack in there as well. If you do get in a crash and there's heavy snow, it may be a while before first responders can get to you. So again, this comes down to each driver's individual decision to get out on the roadway. And again, we just want everyone to make the best decision this weekend.
And obviously, there's semi-trucks on the road. They have to do their jobs. They're 24/7 operations. What's your message for those that are driving those large trucks?
Sure. So if you are on the road and you have, as part of your profession, again, we're just urging you to drive safely, take that speed into consideration, take the amount of, if it's a semi-truck, the amount of material that's in your trailer, take that into account because that mass is going to take longer to stop on icy conditions, on these snowy conditions we may see.
So what do you recommend in terms of not only speed, if it's 75 or 65 on the freeway in a snowstorm, what is the correct speed you should be at in terms of the distance between you and the other car? What are you recommending for those?
Sure. So while we don't have a specific set recommendation, our recommendation is always going to be you need to be traveling at a speed that's appropriate for the roadway because it could vary so differently. If it's a small amount of snow, maybe that's only 10 or 20 miles under the speed limit. But if it's heavy snow where it's caking up in your wheel wells, if there's ice, you may be down as slow as 10 or 15 miles an hour, maybe even slower. And if you do run into that where an entire roadway is, iced over or something like that, your best chance at getting where you need to go safe is wait for a plow to go through. Maybe that means pulling over on the side of the road, waiting for a plow, waiting for some salt or some of those cinders to get on the roadway.
Anything you want to add, sir?
We're just going to recommend this weekend everyone make the best decision for themselves when deciding whether or not to go out in the conditions. It's going to be, it's projected to be pretty bad, so we're just urging everyone, if you do have to go out, make sure you're safe, but if you don't have to go out, it may be a good weekend to just stay home and look at the snow outside your window.
How dangerous is it for you guys to operate in these kind of conditions when your job is to be on the road to help people get emergency crews where they need to go?
Sure. So, at the end of the day, troopers, we all signed up for this. We know kind of the dangers and everything that we're going to encounter. We're going to follow our same advice. We're going to watch our speed, following distance, everything that we've talked about. And at the end of the day, we have capable vehicles. They'll be able to get us where we need to go, but it may just take a little bit longer, obviously, with the conditions.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Cool.
Dan DeRose with 19 News. We've just been hearing from the Ohio State Highway Patrol and their advice for this weekend. Let's be very clear what we expect. This winter storm is mainly going to impact, I think everybody in the state, according to the most updated radar that we've seen, everybody's going to get something on Sunday, but it's really going to smack middle Ohio and southern Ohio and then West Virginia and Kentucky. We're even seeing ice. There could be immeasurable ice in Atlanta that could cripple that community. But we're used to this a little bit up here. Southern Ohio and Columbus, they don't get near as much snow and ice as we experience here in northern Ohio. So they're really trying to get out in front of this, the Ohio State Highway Patrol, ODOT, to give people the heads up, that stay-at-home mentality, if you can, for the weekend, because it is expected to be really a storm the size we haven't seen. I think I heard someone say that Jeff Tanchek is saying it's really been about a decade since southern Ohio and central Ohio has seen a storm like this. We are going to be on the upper edge of this. You need to tune in to our meteorologist really now through the weekend, because as they get more data in, they'll be able to have a little bit better idea of how much snow we're getting as opposed to Columbus, as opposed to Cincinnati. But it is going to be a weather event that'll make national news. When we get updates, we'll bring them to you here on our digital properties. Otherwise, our 11 o'clock news is underway on Cleveland's 43, and then check out our noon news on Channel 19. Until then, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News. Have a good day and stay safe this weekend.